hot minute since we've uploaded a challenge, right? But it's like I've always said, we're not done yet. Hey guys, welcome back once again after a much needed break on my end. This is Bill with the Nintendo Super Power Club Challenge channel. Today we are looking at a game that I really didn't have on my radar, but after giving it a quick look, it looked like this was not only a doable challenge, but a very fun challenge. This is Monster Max on the Game Boy, and this is card number 132 in the collection. So Monster Max is certainly an unknown gem on the Game Boy that not too many people have heard of or played. But I gotta say this, if you've ever played Solstice on the NES or even Q-Bert on the arcade or some of the older consoles, you already know what to expect, at least in terms of the controls. It works out in an isometric 3D perspective, and it plays out very well if you're into those kind of games. The puzzle solving, as I said, is right up there with Solstice, so you already know what you're in for here. The other thing that makes this card and this game very interesting is that it was one of several that had two different variants. Now you're probably saying, oh, it's like Mario 3 or Zelda where it had two separate cards and different sets of challenges, right? No, not exactly. So what I mean is it's the exact same challenge, just with two different front card faces. So I'm going to show you both of these. Here's number one. Go ahead and flip it over. Here's number two. And if you were to flip both of these cards over on the back, it would show the exact same set of challenges. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and look at that challenge. Okay, what do we got here? Let's take a look. Challenge says, how many lives does it take you to complete the first 3 levels? For Pro, 1 life. Okay, now I've already mentioned that this is an isometric 3D view, right? Now if you've never played a game with a control type or a view scheme like this, 1 life is going to be next to impossible for you. You're going to have to learn the game, learn the controls, and how to orient yourself with how the game is presenting itself. Until you do that, you're going to have a very difficult time completing any of these levels, let alone doing 9 of them in 1 single life. Did I say 9? Well, yes, technically, because 1 level consists of 3 stages, and every time you beat a stage, you get a certain number of points. You get a certain number of points, you can progress to the next level. Fortunately, you do not necessarily need to beat all 3 stages to go to the next level. And that's where we're going to take advantage of this. We will show you exactly which stages you have to tackle, which ones you can skip, and so on. Oh, by the way, this is a challenge that we could probably do in 1 sitting, but just for the sake of simplicity and actually explaining what we're doing in the forefront, I think it's best to split it up into 2 parts, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. So this is part 1 of the Monster Max challenge. We'll be looking at the first 3 stages of level 1. So sit back, relax, and enjoy a very fun gem on the Game Boy. Here we go. Okay, we're off and running with Monster Max here. Go ahead and pick your language. So the game starts off in the isometric 3D view as we know. Over to the left is a training playpen area. If you don't know how to play the game, feel free to go in there. If you do, go over to the right. You're going to see an elevator. Go ahead and jump on it just like this. It'll take you up to your first level. Now you notice that it's free, it doesn't cost you anything. That's important because in future levels, when you go to like level 2 or 3 or so on, you will have to pay a fee with points. How do you get points? You complete various stages within the level that you see. Every level has 3 stages, and then you go over to the far right and there's an elevator to the next level. So we go in this first room here, there's a computer. Every stage room has a computer that tells you the number of points you can get, as well as the general objective here. So in this case, if we win, we get 30 points, but you can get a chance at more points. Alright, now a lot to talk about. Look in the top right, you're going to see there are 2 options and actions you can take. So in this case, the bag lets you pick stuff up, and then we have boots which allow you to jump. I strongly advise that you hang onto your boots at all costs, and you'll see why. By the way, this is gold bullion. It'll tell you exactly what it does here as soon as you pick up the item for the first time. Gold bullion gives you extra points, and you're going to want those because the more you get, the less likely it is you're going to have to play a certain stage to go to the next level. We want to make this as quick and painless as possible for this challenge. We don't necessarily have to beat all the stages here. Alright, here's our first enemy, a skeleton. He walks in a path along the wall. Don't worry about fighting him. These things right here, these are electrical generators, I guess. If you touch them, you will automatically die unless you have a star item, which will prevent you from instant death, which, by the way, is right here. So pick it up. You can see exactly what it does. It will prevent instant death. And you're going to notice we also have hearts once we get out of this little description right here. Okay, so the top left has a number. Those are the number of times you can take a hit before dying. This is an electrified floor, by the way, so you can pick this item up as long as you have a bag, which we certainly do. You're going to put it on top of this block, which is pushable on this electrified floor. Push it over to here, which has a door up in the middle of the wall. Very weird, I know. And walk right through. As I was saying, the hearts are the lives that you have. So the more lives that you have, the more times you can risk dying here. But you don't want to die, because if you complete a stage with more lives, you get more bonus credits and points. So try not to die. Oh, by the way, you can't die or you fail the challenge. Anyway, moving on, now we have another extra life, which is good for more points and credits. Alright, this room right here, drop down, don't try to jump across, you will kill yourself. And go all the way across, walk across. This stage isn't too bad once you learn how things work here. This is a duck, take a guess what it lets you do without looking at the screen. Yeah, it lets you duck. Very creative, I know, right? So we're gonna get out of here, check this out. We're going to swap it for a bag and let you duck just like this. Pretty creative and innovative, gotta say, huh? Right? Alright, now we don't have our bag icon, which means we can't pick up and stuff things to put on top of blocks. This is a mine. This is a very nice item and weapon to have. It will destroy most things on screen within a small distance here. You do need to get out of the way because, like any bomb, real life, it will kill you if you're too close. So we're going to blow up this duck because I don't need it anymore. And right over here we have a lightning bolt on top of some blocks. How do you get to it? Take a guess. Yep, blow them up. So get that lightning bolt to drop to the ground. And what's it let you do? It's not a weapon, it basically lets you double your walking speed, and that's nice to have, though not really necessary for these first couple of rooms, but we'll show you how it works. So you go in here and you can clearly see we're walking faster now. Now why would you need it? Well, this might be interesting here because this skeletons move kind of fast. Like I said, not really necessary, but you could use it for jumping over a whole lot of hazards here. And then finally here you have this item up on top. Now you're going to blow up these blocks, and then this thing is not something you want to touch. You want to blow it up and kill it, and that will let you exit the level. So yes, congratulations, we just beat the first stage of the first level. We got our 30 credits, and every heart that we have is going to give us bonus credits. So we ended up getting 48 in total, plus the gold bullion. So we're in pretty good shape right now, I gotta say. So that's the first stage out of the way. Now, stages 2 and 3 are pretty simplistic. You technically only have to do one of them if you want to complete level 1 and go to 2, but we're going to do them all because they're pretty simple here, and you're going to need all those credits to help with skipping later, more difficult stages. Now here we are in stage 2, level 1. You're going to have a whole bunch of electrified generators, which obviously kill you, so blow them up. And then you have this ugly looking water hag demon thing, so blow up all the generators. When it's safe to pass through, go ahead and do so. We already have a bag, we don't need to pick up 2 of them. We're going to have more generators here and some more stuff over to the left, so when it's safe to blow everything up, there is a star icon. We all know what that does. Certainly pick that up when it's safe. That'll give you another hit point, basically. And we're going to move on to this next stage. Now this can be a little bit tricky here. If you have a bag, good. If you don't, you definitely want to swap it out. Pick up this block, move up. There is a disappearing block, so you need to jump quickly. Do not stop to smell the roses, as I like to say. Drop this down, here you go. By the way, typically anytime you see an item in a room, you probably need to use it. So not always, but in this case you definitely do. So use common sense, you can duck underneath. Now you could go to the right, we're going to go straight ahead here. Now this, ooh, take a look at this, we have a sword up here. Now technically you don't need it for this section of the game, but we're going to show you how the item works, so why not? Let's go ahead and pick it up. Take this conveyor all the way up to the top, this elevator rather, jump across. There will be some disappearing blocks as you can see, so move very quickly, bunny hop across. This sword, as you can clearly see, is used for killing enemies. How does it work? Well, it's not like Zelda or a typical action-adventure game. Basically, you just hold in the button where the item is equipped, in this case B, and it will stay out in front of you and it will kill anything that you touch. So it's almost like Hide Glide or Super Hide Glide, if you can imagine that. By the way, don't play that game. It's absolutely terrible. And you just keep moving on down. And that's pretty much it. That's all we really need it for. So we're going to get rid of the sword. Yes, I know it was short-lived, but it's basically to show you how the item is used. And we have the bag. Go ahead and pick this item up, stuff it in your purse or your whatever the hell it is. Jump on this elevator all the way to the top. And what kinds of surprises do we have up here? An egg? Well, we're going to jump on it because we're going to need it. And it's not really an egg. It is a force field. Now, the force field will prevent certain death from stepping on things, in this case electrified floors, and you're going to see exactly what I mean in this next room here. There we go. Now how does it work? Basically you hit the button where the item is equipped, in this case B, and it's going to make this big long oval looking thing go over your body and it will prevent you from dying. Pretty simple to use. there will be other occasions where it comes in handy. Now right here, here's another new item we haven't come across yet. This is a super spell scroll. And it's interesting because the first time you use it, it will destroy just about anything it hits, whereas the next few times you use it will destroy enemies. So right here, fire right across. That will allow you to pick up the spring, which we'll talk about in just a second. Go across, kill this enemy, and go over get the spring. Now you don't need the spring to complete this level here, but it will make it considerably easier. So it gives you 10 uses of super high jumping, and it will come in handy in these next few rooms here. So we go across, there's number 1, and we have another heart icon, which will give us some bonus credits, which we certainly want. Go ahead and take the door up on the wall here, which will require the super jump. What's this? A trampoline. So we're going to use a super jump on the trampoline to jump extremely high up. That's kind of nice. Now this room we haven't seen yet, but you're just going to go straight across to the left. Now we do have the super scroll spell, so you can still kill these things if you really want to. Only got to kill one of them. Now here's another interesting innovation of a room. You have a joystick control which moves a robot, and by having the super jump, it will make it extremely easy to get across. I highly recommend having the super jump here, by the way. Otherwise you risk certain death. So put that robot right in the middle. Shoot the enemy here. Now right here you do need to get rid of the super spell and trade it out for the bag. Yes, I know, kind of depressing. And as always, make sure you always have those boots so you can continue to jump. And then we're going to pick up one, stack it here. Pick up another one, stack it slightly on top, slightly over to the side so you can continue to stack and jump. Nothing really to see in here. We're going to keep moving across. And we're pretty much done with this level. There's a crown. You need to make sure that you can actually get to it without this little water hag enemy killing you. So just touch it, move out of the way, and that's it. There's level 1-2 done. So we get a reward, and we're going to get lots and lots of bonus credits for not dying once. So technically, we are done. If we really wanted to, we could just move on to level 2 right now. But as I said, this next stage is not as difficult as the ones in level 2, so we might as well just complete it for the additional credits here. So just to show you, we need 70 credits to advance to level number 2, which we certainly have, but we're not going to do that just yet. So let's go back. You can see right there we have 83 credits. We have more than enough. If we really wanted to, we could advance. We're going back to 1-3 here. And we're going to see what we have to do. It's going to give us 45 credits, more than usual here. We basically have to off and kill this little enemy here, and it lets us complete the level. Now what do we have here that we haven't seen besides a bunch of eyes on walls? Well, it's going to make sure that we know exactly how to stack things and push things off to the side. And you're going to get very used to that skill, because if you don't, you won't be able to complete these levels here. Now we're just going to very gingerly, carefully move along through this section here, and there's a little ghost pushing some bullion. Okay, there's some free credits, thank you very much. Now we're going to get him to line up behind this little obstacle so he can't follow us. He will get stuck, just jump on the trampoline. That wasn't too bad. You're a little bit off center here, there we go. Oh, come on. Come on. Kind of annoying here, there we go. Alright, what do we got in this room? Another little robot joystick. So this one's not too difficult. You just have to get on top of these blocks, push it on top of the robot, and then move the joystick, position the robot underneath that door. This is a very innovative puzzle game. I gotta say, some of these puzzles are a little bit trickier than in Solstice, and I appreciate that. So this is kind of fun. Move up and across, make sure you jump up on the block. You will push it off the robot and have to leave the room all over again. Here, you got a duck. You can probably see what you're gonna have to do to use it. Not too tricky. Again, these puzzles in this first level aren't that bad overall once you know what the items do. So you're going to have to hold duck while jumping. Here's a new item, a roll of tape. No, it's a power ring. Alright. Now, you're going to go down off these blocks. You could go left or right. I strongly suggest going to the right. The left will be considerably more difficult and you'll risk dying. Here we go. All the way across. The ring prevents certain death. Go up the steps. Obviously, you can't touch the force fields there. Here's another star. That's nice. That's another hit point for us. Keep on moving across. Go over to the right. Don't go straight. Got some spikes here with another star hit point. This is really nice, giving us death insurance. Gonna keep on moving. Do we have anything tricky coming up at all? Do we have any enemies, or do we just have spikes here? No, not really. We just have spikes and force fields, electrical generators that we've already seen. So nothing too bad just yet. We have another heart giving us more bonus credits. These blocks will disappear. Just make sure that you jump immediately off to the right here so you don't fall in the generators and kill yourself. Okay, right here, you're going to go over to the right. You're just going to very gingerly move over onto these blocks. You don't have to jump. Just move over as they touch, and they will. And that's it for this room. This isn't too bad once you know how to handle it. And we're moving into this next room here. What do we got? nothing. Absolutely nothing except for a bag, which you do need, and you're going to see why. Yes, there are 2 blocks in here you need to pick up and stack to get to this door on the top left. And you're going to have a block here, which this alien enemy will try to push around sometimes. So be very careful. This room's not too bad. It's just a matter of stacking stuff in the top left corner and avoiding the enemy at the same time. So a little bit of patience is all you need to get through this room here. Not too bad. And you may find yourself having a little bit of trouble here if you're unable to stack things on top of each other. But of course, we certainly can. Jump over, off, and into the next room. So far, not too bad. What do we got here? This is a icy floor. You're going to push this block all the way across. Make sure the ghost doesn't push it off to the side. That can be annoying. Walk right across, and there we go. All right, we have another room with nothing of importance except for a lightning bolt. You technically don't need this, but we're going to pick it up anyway because who doesn't want extra added speed? Got a couple enemies here, 2 I believe. You have a ghost and a water hag looking enemy thing over this section. Oh no, it's an alien. Not that it really matters that much. It's not too bad. Alright, this is the final room of level 1-3, and the enemy you have to kill is right down there. So what do? Go over here, pick up the mine. Gonna go over here, you're gonna drop this mine on the far block, very quickly go back and push it down there, go back to the far left, so not to drop into the electrified floor, and you're gonna jump and move at the same time. Very, very tricky, but there we go. We did it, we completed this room. We have 130 some credits now. 156, yeah, that's pretty good. Definitely enough to move on to level 2. So pretty good, I gotta say. Only that one little hazard there that we had to worry about before we move on. So you go over, talk to the guy, give him his 70 coins or credits, and take the conveyor all the way up to level 2. So that's basically 1 down with 2 to go. But as you're gonna see, as we already know, we don't have to complete every single stage here. But that being said, now that we know how to play the game, these next 2 levels will get more tricky and more complicated. By the way, 130 some credits that we need. We don't quite have enough yet because we spent some to come up here. Yes, those credits do disappear. So, that being said, we're going to pause here, and we're going to save levels 2 and 3 for the next part of this challenge here. So thank you very much for watching part 1. Here's the password. We're going to save it, and we will see you guys in part 2 of Monster Max. Take care.